Welcome to Lecture 15 of Computer Programming Fundamentals, L15, Java Applets. The Java computer programming language, as cited in Lecture L2G, Computer Programming Languages 1990s, slide number 7, originally conceived by James Gosling at Sun Microsystems in 1990. Java's initial purpose in 1990 was to provide computer programming support for a multitude of electronically controlled devices of varying sizes, shapes, and uses, everything from automobiles to toasters. Unfortunately, in 1990, the technology associated with the electronically controlled devices did not mature. Thus, the convergence of computer programming and device control did not occur. As such, nothing much happened with the Java computer programming language in 1990. However, in 1995, with the maturation of the browser, Java found a new purpose: enhancement of web pages using the extended Java class library. As such, Lecture 2H, Slide 7, gives 1995 as the date for James Gosling's contribution. Now web pages could become interactive due to computer programming control, allowing for commerce to take place over the World Wide Web, hence e-commerce and social media. Ironically, today, the Java computer programming language serves its original purpose, namely computer programming control of electronically driven devices. You might have seen Oracle's claim when you downloaded and installed the latest Java development kit, specifically that the Java computer programming language is used to control over 3 billion devices. I have no idea how many web pages have embedded Java bytecode in their HTML files, but my guess is the number is huge. Thus, the purpose of Lecture 15 is to demonstrate the enhancement of web pages by using Java Applets. The Java programming language provides user interactivity to conventional web pages by extending HTML files that provide the web page with computer programming logic. As such, the Java Applet class requires HTML code which references or calls the Java Applet class. This is accomplished, as you will see, by setting the code attribute of the applet tag by connecting the applet tag in the HTML file to the Java Applet class file. This I will discuss further given the computer program models demonstrating the Java Applets. Computer program models that require a Java Applet class as well as an HTML file, where the HTML file references the Java Applet class file. This is how Java Applets extend a conventional web page's functionality. To demonstrate Java Applets, 3 simple computer program models will be discussed. Computer program models that utilize the Java label and JLabel classes to extend the web page. So let's look at each of these simple computer program models in greater detail. Given the computer source code for the Java class file L15a.java and the computer source code for the HTML file L15a.html, let's look first at the Java class file. Note this computer programming code: import java.applet.*, import java.awt.*. Here the import compiler directive includes all the classes within the applet class. Note the asterisk or wildcard symbol following the object.syntax hierarchy, where the applet class is a member of the Java class. The same logic applies to the second import directive for the AWT class, otherwise known as the Abstract Window Toolkit. The AWT classes provide some rudimentary window display capabilities. The AWT classes have been replaced by the Java Swing classes. The Swing classes provide more robust window dialogues for the user input of data. Note Lecture 13, Slide 3 for computer program model L13A.java. Okay, the key point here is that class L15A extends the applet class. Note the computer program instruction, public class L15A extends applet. Or in other words, class L15A adds computer programming functionality to that already embodied in class applet. Note also that there is no main method definition. No surprise here is that Java computer program L15A is compiled forming a class or bytecode file. Bytecode that is not executed by the Java runtime, but rather referenced by the HTML file and executed by the browser which runs the HTML file. In this case, HTML file L15A.html. Okay, next, how does the browser launch the Java class file referenced by the HTML file? To answer that question, take a look at the following computer program code of the Java computer program model L15A.java. Public void init left paren close right paren, left brace add left paren mylabel right paren semicolon right brace. Here we have our first and only method definition, where method init initiates or starts an instance of Java applet class L15A, the single computer program instruction within the init method definition, namely add left paren mylabel right paren semicolon, adds the instance of class label called mylabel given a call of the method add by passing as an argument the class mylabel. Next, take a look at where the instance of class label called mylabel is created. Take a look at computer program instruction label mylabel equal new label left paren double quote this is mylabel double quote right paren semicolon. We have seen this assignment computer program instruction with the new keyword before in lecture 14. Here, the mylabel class instance is created with a data type of the object label. The constructor method label call that passes an argument of double quote this is my label double quote. So class mylabel is initialized to this is my label, which will display this is my label when the browser runs the HTML file. Okay, let's take a look at the HTML file that uses the Java class file L15A. The key HTML tag to look at here is the applet tag. The applet tag provides the coordination between the Java class file and the HTML file, namely less than applet code equal double quote L15A.class double quote width equal 300, height equal 200, greater than, less than, / applet, greater than. Here, let's confine our attention to the code attribute, where the code attribute is a member attribute of the applet tag that is set to the L15A.class file. Next, let's take a look at the result provided by the coordination of the Java class and HTML computer programs. Note that the first step is to compile Java computer program model L15A.java. To produce the L15A.class file or bytecode to be referenced by the HTML file L15A.html. The HTML file that contains the code attribute of the applet opening tag set to the L15A.class file, where the L15A.class extends the applet class that contains the label class. Here the execution of the browser, or in this case the applet viewer software, displays the results of the HTML code for the web page. However, the HTML computer program code by itself does not provide the extended computer programming functionality. Extended computer programming functionality required for producing user interactive web pages. Extended computer programming functionality provided in bytecode form. Bytecode provided by the Applet extended class L15A. The Applet extended class that uses the extensive, robust, and vast set of precompiled proven class libraries. Proven class libraries developed to provide extended computer programming functionality. Extended computer programming functionality that renders the conventional web page user interactive. The user interactivity that fostered global e-commerce. I suggest you use the Applet Viewer software, which comes with the Java development kit, rather than using your browser to demonstrate computer program model L15A.java, because your browser's security settings may block local execution of the L15A.html file. Computer program model L15B.java enhances computer program model L15A.java by introducing the JLabel class that replaces the label class. Where the JLabel class is part of the package of swing classes, note the computer program instruction import javax.swing.*, which has been added to the computer program model L15B.java. Here, the MyLabel class is an instance of the JLabel class. In addition, the computer program instruction container con equal get content pane left paren closed right paren semicolon assigns the result of the call of the get content pane method to the data variable con, where con is of object data type container. Thus, when the next computer program instruction included within the init method definition executes, namely con.add left paren mylabel right paren semicolon, note here that the add method call passing mylabel as an argument is included as part of the container object called con, which places the display of this is my label within a container. This will display in the next slide as a gray background containing the display of this is my label. These are the differences between computer program models L15A.java and L15B.java. Note also that the code attribute in L15B.html is set to L15B.class. Okay, next let's take a look at the result. Here note that the display of this is my label is displayed within a light gray area, defined by the container object con of data type object container. Computer program model L15C.java enhances computer program model L15B.java by introducing the font class to provide an improved display of the phrase, this is my label. Note computer program instruction, font, big font equal new font, left paren, double quote, Times Roman, double quote, comma, font.italic, comma, 36, right paren, semicolon. Here, a class instance of the class font called big font is created. Next, take a look at the constructor method call part, namely font, left paren, double quote, Times Roman, double quote, comma, font.italic, comma, 36, right paren, semicolon. Here, three arguments are passed. First, the font type is set to Times Roman. Second, the font.italic argument sets the font style to italic. And third, the 36 sets the font point size to 36. Thus, the result of the font method call assigns characteristic or property values to the font type, style, and point size properties for the big font class instance of the class font located on the left side of the assignment computer program instruction. Note the data type of big font is of object type font. Next, look at the other computer program instruction within the method definition int. That has been added to enhance computer program model L15b.java, and which coordinates with the creation of the big font class instance, namely mylabel.setFont, left paren, big font, right paren, semicolon. Here the class instance mylabel uses the setFont method to change the font for the display of mylabel, which is, this is my label. Note the object hierarchy .syntax, where setFont is a method included within the class instance called mylabel, where mylabel is a class instance of the JLabel class. Since the setFont method call passes the class instance bigfont as an argument, the class instance mylabel inherits the font properties of the class instance bigfont, namely a Times Roman font, an italic font style, and a 36-point font size. So with computer program model L15c.java, we not only get the container, but an improved display of this is my label. Also note that the code attribute of L15c.html is set to L15c.class. Here note that the display of this is my label is enhanced. Not only displayed within the container or gray area, but displayed with a much larger font point size. I trust these very simple computer program models demonstrate how Java applets can enhance conventional web pages by making use of the robust class libraries already part of the Java computer programming language. Class libraries that foster reuse of proven secure object or bytecode that can be incorporated into HTML files. HTML files that can be executed by the browser to provide user interactivity. User interactivity is essential for conducting e-commerce in a protective environment. A protective environment not realizable when using scripting or source code injection to enhance conventional web pages. Thus, Java applets are just some more evidence of the portability feature of the Java computer program language. Portability to electronic devices of all types, shapes, and sizes. Portability unmatched by any other computer programming language.